Following their epic win against France in Paris last Saturday, the Springboks have set up their base in Parma ahead of their third test in 2025 against Italy to take place in Turin this coming Saturday. Much of the talk around the Springboks over the last 2 seasons since their win in the 2023 Rugby World Cup has been around depth and versatility. But as assistant coach Tony Brown says, there was another quality in clear evidence on Saturday night, that of adaptability.
It was an outstanding effort, going down to 14 men and still being able to not only survive at the start of that second half where we were under pressure a lot from France. So defensively, boys were just working so hard and just making everything as difficult as possible for France. And then once we changed momentum and got a little bit of momentum, our ability to make the most of every opportunity we got, we only ended up in French 22 5 times, and we scored four tries. So been able to execute really well there, and obviously adapt to the red card, and players playing multiple positions was excellent.
Throwing back to Wellington, how much of a role did the experience in Wellington play? A fantastic victory, but 3 backline players off in the first half of that test match, with Kobus eventually coming back on after passing an HIA. But did that change the thinking a little bit around the makeup of the bench and the inclusion of somebody like an Andre Esterhuizen?
Yeah, definitely does. Having Andre who can float between the forwards and the backs is crucial for us going forward. I think his ability to scrum more, carry with the forwards, but then also defend with the backs or attack with the backs is a massive advantage for us. So having him in Wellington, he made an amazing impact in that game, and then against France, outstanding as well. So he's become a bit of a, we call him a hybrid, but he's a one-man wrecking machine.
Given the emotion and where the players had to get to produce a performance of that quality in Paris on Saturday, how tough is it as a coaching group to press the reset button and start from zero again in a new city against a new opponent?
Yeah, very tough. Not many teams can have a performance like we did against France and then back that up. So we all understand that, and we all know that every minute that we have it on the training field and all of our meetings have got to have a real purpose, and to get back up to that intensity and get our preparation right to what is a very good Italian team. It's going to be a massive challenge for us this week, but that's Test rugby, and you've got to be able to do it, and the players have got to be able to do it, so we'll be pushing them hard to get ready.
You've coached in many environments, in many countries. What is different in this one for you when you look at a performance like that, what they produced, and also what they produced for their skipper on a momentous occasion when he was willing to make the sacrifice at half-time?
Yeah, I think that's probably the word, the sacrifice. I think, there's a lot of great rugby players in this team, and there's a lot of great rugby players in rugby teams around the world, but I think this team sacrifices more for each other than any team I've seen. And see the captain going off at half-time in his 100th game, I don't think there'd be anyone in the world who would have done that before. So he knew the situation and he agreed with the decision, and ultimately, those little things are what wins test matches, not the individual milestones, I guess.
Tony, there's still a lot of prep to do for Saturday, but just looking ahead to the Italian side you'll face in Turin, a different proposition in many ways to what you faced in South Africa in July? Yeah,
definitely. They've got a new coach who's been with them a couple of years now, and they're probably playing the best rugby they've played. There's a number of players who weren't in South Africa at the start of our test campaign this year, so those guys are quality rugby players, and they're going to add so much to the Italian team. So if we don't get our preparation right, they're going to be so good on the day at home that it's going to be a tough challenge for us. So we've got to get everything right to be successful.